106% crit damage, which honestly could be better, could be better, could be better. Right, look at her on the staff. She is actually E2, right? E2 Hera, which makes this team even better. So this verse, basically, this is like additional copies of the character, right? This is having 2 copies of the character, this is having 3 copies of the character, and they basically make them stronger in all kinds of different ways. She of course has her own weapon, which looks absolutely fantastic. Like, look at that artwork, like the little pen, the book, the little keys. Like, her has a lot of key designs, right? So your Trace is basically maxed out. She's not really using her basic attack, which is like, I didn't bother to put more points in there, right? And now let's go into the relics. Those are pretty good, if I may say so myself, right? We have the headpiece here with some attack, sadly some defensive rolls. It's probably one of the worst pieces, even though it's still pretty good, right? If we press the reroll button, we see that 2 of the rolls have went into defense, and we could reroll, but I only have like 1 of those like dice things left, so I don't wanna use it right now. And this over here, which has like a different distribution of stats, but yeah, pretty good. Then over here we have lots of attack and some crit damage. This one can be increased as well. Technically this piece is kind of better, but she doesn't need the additional crit rate, right? She just gets it from like other units in the party. So I'd rather have something with more attack and more crit damage. Then we have the body, which is probably her best piece ever. It's crit rate. It went into attack, into speed, and into crit damage, which makes this insane. And the membrane. Then her boots, which can be better as well, right? We have attack, we have crit rate, we have crit damage, but both of those are not really well rolled. I have some other bootsies here as well, but they are speed boots, and I prefer having attack boots with her. Then we have this thing, which went a lot into crit, which is the only reason it's good, because like these 3 stats are not as good. Defense is not good, HP is not good, and defense is not good. And then we have the last item, which attack, speed, crit rate, crit damage, right? So she is pretty well built. Then we have Trippylicious. Look at her. Look at Trippy. Isn't she cute? And let's look at her idol, which she's gonna have like in a moment. Let's see which idol she's gonna do actually. Is it gonna be the idol where she eats an apple? Look at that.
Man, Training, which one of you likes such sour stuff?
A sour apple. She did not like that, okay? So her whole deal is to have lower speed, lots of HP, and then like crit rate and crit damage and energy regen. So I did not get her weapon because she's pretty good with this one. The dance, the DDD, the DDD, the DDD. Pretty good with that one. Then over here we are fully maxed out on the relics. By the way, I do have E1, because this one makes AoE characters do quite a lot of damage in single target or other main focus target situations as well. And then for the relics, these are pretty good because I spent a long time before she came out farming those, right? So we have HP. This one could be better by having HP percentages here or here as well. But we don't have that. Let's see, maybe we get it here. Upgrade. energy regen, energy regen, HP, and crit damage, okay? And we do have a few different versions, here as well. So this one is actually quite good as well. If I ever get a second character that needs to do that as well. Then this one is the oldest character in this setup. My boy is called Aventurine, and he's such a cutie. Look at him. He's always looking at us. And of course he has his own weapon with this top tier S plus tier 0 artwork, right? And he's fully leveled. He does not have any eidolons, not have any extra copies, and I don't even care for extra copies. And then his gear is very controversial. Some people like to run the full version of this set, right? I don't. I build him basically in a way where he has enough defenses to trigger all his bonus things, and then has a lot of speed, lots of damage, and I did have energy regen on him as well. But I stole it to give it to another character. So yeah, let's quickly go over these items. You can see, right? He's one of those characters that actually does want the defense stat on items, the defense stat. Then last but not least, the newest character in this party is Anaxa. I like to call him Ananas as well. He has the event weapon from like a patch or two ago, right? Cute artwork. And then fully leveled again. And his relics, I would say, are pretty good as well. I built him more as a support character, which is why you can see he has quite a lot of speed, and is using the set that advances him forwards whenever he uses his ultimate. This one in particular, pretty good. So this is basically the main team I'm using for most things in the game, for most content in the game. It's very fun to play as well. Then we have Boot Hill. So for the rest of the characters, I'm not gonna go over everything, okay? But like Boot Hill, I was very hyped for the cyborg policeman when he was announced, and I did get him, and I did get his own weapon as well. But then I didn't really use him that much, which is sad. He's like still very good. His like whole deal is a lot of single target damage, and he goes like pew 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 pew. He goes like pew 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 at enemies, right? Then we have Robin, also called Bobbin, very lovely by the community, right? She was, and probably will be for a very long time, one of the best supports in this game you can get. She has her own weapon as well, because her whole deal is when you use her ultimate, she starts singing, and she's like, "Welcome to my world," and basically advances all your units forward, right? Which is amazing. This is the main character of the game. Currently in the Remembrance Path, the newest, right? Basically on the speed build you can see 168 is very high. Then we have Ruin May, which I did not originally get when she came out. I got her at some point on a rerun because I wanted to use a Boot Hill. So basically, if I would have had any choices and redo like my account, I would not have gotten Boot Hill or Rose Weapon or Ruin May, because I don't really use that team that much anymore. Then we have one of the most hyped characters that ever came out in this game. She is Acheron, aka Raiden May from Genshin, aka freaking the Devil May Cry character Virgil, right? She has a sword and goes like of course has her own weapon. No eidolons, although her E2 is very, very strong if you choose to go that route, and I did not get her best teammates, but she still does some things. This is the newest character I have who is still on the banner. Look at her bubblegum face, the bubblegum face. She has 202 speed. That is because this is a character made for speed, right? And I wanted to get her own weapon as well. Look at it. those are very improvable, because like this set is like very new. I couldn't like farm it, and then those two could get it for a while as well. He's one of the oldest characters ever, and he's getting buffed. Next patch, he's getting buffed. Next patch, which is gonna be amazing, right? He does have his own weapon, but only from like the thing that they introduced, where you can buy certain weapons and characters with like extra currency you can get in the game, right? So I got it from there. Then we have Bronya. She's one of the standard characters. She's been in the game since the game came out, and basically when the game came out she was basically the best and almost only support. Like she and one other were like really good supports, and she was the best. She does have her own weapon, and I have like one extra Bronya from like losing 50-50s and stuff. Then we have Rice, aka Castoris, aka little elf lady. Look at her face. Isn't it beautiful? And she is an HP scaling character. She has the battle boss weapon. Very strong. I didn't upgrade her basic attack because literally she never uses it. She always skills because she doesn't use skill points. And her gear is pretty good. No Eidolons, no Eidolons, no Eidolons. Then we have Sparkle, aka Hanabi. And you might have seen memes about this character even if you don't play this game, because that's how much of a maniac she is. And I think with next patch, with the free character we're getting, Archer from Fate Stay Night, she might see light in the game again. She does have her own weapon as well. Then we have Fushuan. I always liked her ever since she came out, but I only really got her from losing a 50-50 recently. And then I got the weapon the same way I got Blade's weapon. Silver Wolf had one of the most tragic stories in this game. Not story-wise, but meta-wise. And it's finally getting fixed next patch. So basically, she is a debuffer, but you can only debuff one target. And turns out most of the time in this game you target more than one enemy, right? More than one enemy. And they're making it so she can hit more than one enemy with her ultimate. This is my daddy, aka Kalagar. He's like the best 4-star character in the game. As you can see, he's purple up here, not gold, which means he's a 4-star. He was very nice in the story, and he's like insane as a 4-star unit. Himiko, another standard character which can be used for like some modes of this game. He is just, I don't even know why I have him leveled. Probably because for the longest time when the game came out, I didn't really have any defense units because I didn't get Fujiwang, so I leveled him. I mean, I do like his design, didn't really like him in the story, don't really like his gameplay. Then we have King Yuan, one of the most popular characters in this game, voiced by Sino. And not Sino, actually, is that how he's called? How's the VTuber, the streamer called? I don't know. He voices a lot of like English characters, especially in Hoyoverse games. Right. Then we have Mommy Kafka. She's very cool. I do like her. She's one of the characters getting buffed as well next patch. This is Silly. She was one of the first characters, well, not one of the first, she was the first characters released in this game, and I did get her back in the day, and she carried me through a lot of things, but nowadays she's not that good anymore, although some maniacs have her built so good that she's still doing stuff. It's literally just a character we got for free, which I decided to level at some point. Locha was very good back in the day, and if you just need healing, he's still pretty good. The problem with his character is that nowadays most characters that can either heal or shield you also contribute to the damage of the party in some kind of way, and he literally doesn't. He only heals the party, which makes him a worse choice. Well, another one of the voice line actually, because Welt is just that good.
Hi, I'm Welt Yang. If there's something you need help with, you can come find me anytime.
I love him so much. Then, okay, Blitzfire around. Luca, never really liked him in the story, don't really like the design or the gameplay. Hera. It's the tiny doll version that is controlled by Big Hera that we saw at the beginning. Very good for specific modes. March, probably one of my favorite characters in this game. And I'm very sad that she's not in the story much right now. Tingyun was one of the best buffing characters early on, and she's still in some circumstances where you need a lot of energy on characters. Saval has some weird uses, and I did use her in the Herda team before Anaxa came out, but not the biggest fan of her design. Natasha and Underground Doctor, honestly, hot take, probably my most hated design in this entire game. It's like so weirdly sexualized with the whole look, everything about this, right? I don't like her at all. She's a healer, in case you couldn't tell, but she does have a giant gun when she fights. This dude, everybody hates this dude because you can lose your gacha pulls to him, and he's literally the worst 5-star character in the entire game. Just a random night girl who summons a giant chicken with her ultimate. Probably the best character in the story. Pitch Dark Hook the Great. I'm always so happy if they include her in like an event story or the actual story, because she's so fun to be around. Also, I don't like Capella, but she's used by a lot of people in a lot of teams. Listen, do not mess with Asta. She has so much money. She owns like a freaking whole space station, okay? Then we have Dan Hong, aka Daniel, who doesn't look like much, but he's very fun in the story, and his voice actor, who sadly has not been in like the last 5 batches of this game, is very good. Let's see, we do have some voices.
I should reintroduce myself. My name is Dan Hung. I'm the guard on the Express. I also administer the train's databank.
So I do like him, right? Then we have Clara, who doesn't fight herself. She's on the battlefield, and she's getting protected by the big robot, Swarok. Let's wait for an idol, because is Swarok in the idol? Actually, I don't think he is. Let's see. We have Swarok on here, right? Swarok is holding her up. Pretty sure she's based on the Fate character with the Berserker summon. With a little gambling addict, just like me, for real. I don't even have her leveled, but some people do some weird clears with her. Little dragon lady who's fun in the story, but useless in the game. Honestly, never really liked you. She's a streamer and YouTuber, so I do like her. Sad story character, edgy story character, irrelevant character in story and gameplay, I'm so sorry. Probably one of the silliest and coolest characters in the story, because he is always like a comedic relief, but there's like a dark undertone in everything, and you know he's probably more powerful than he tells you. That's the sister of his girl, and I don't care for either of them, I'm sorry. Lynx. I mean, I like the design. Don't really use her, as you can tell, because I have other characters. And last but not least, we have Yukong, which the design is okay, but like she never really found a place in any team in this game, even though she has like a pretty unique playstyle. Well, that is that. So, do let me know what you think of my characters. If you play Honkai Star Rail as well, what characters you want